Hello, everybody. This is Love from Above by your sibling spirit guides. I'm Maureen, and this is my brother.
Hey, Maureen. Hey, everyone. This is Brian.
Hey, Brian, we're so happy to be here. If you can believe it, on this podcast, we share daily channelings we receive from star beings, ascended masters, mythical beings who really exist, and occasionally our ancestors. And today's topic, oh my gosh, if we look at our archives, one of the most repeated words is on unification, reunification with the one. So this is the call to unite part one, because there's so many of these that we whittled it down to, I don't know, maybe 8, 10 sessions, and of the most important ones, the most unique ones to share this with you. So yeah, Brian, what do you think about this call to unite with the one? Boy, that sounds delicious, right?
Yeah. But I mean, we've been talking about this. Yeah, right. It's a consistent theme. And so I think something that everyone can hopefully get something out of. So I'll start April 18th of 2026. Your Maserati is already parked in the garage. That's good news, Maureen, huh? We congratulate those who can listen to these messages. Darling one, how can one accept the unified presence within? This may be a strange question, for you already possess what you desire. It's like you always wanted a red Maserati. Pictures flood your daydreams and your vision boards. You tell your friends the feeling of driving a Maserati. You imagine people's reaction to you being in this beautiful, stylistic vehicle. However, the vehicle is already parked in the garage. The garage is locked, shuttered, and closed, but you have the keys. This is the analogy that we provide. Meditations do allow you to connect to that Maserati, but more is required. More is required. More is required. The meditation may allow you to see that the Maserati is available, but connecting, putting your hand in the pocket, in your pocket, retrieving the key and opening the garage, this requires additional efforts. In the human capacity, most beings do not have the ability to perform these simple functions. The raising of one's vibration automatically assists in this. Community endeavors focused on similar goals likewise provide additional fuel that can add energetic resources. But what is the bridge? What is the bridge? What is the bridge? It's unique for every individual. Just like your thumbprint is your unique signature, the dilution of your irises similarly mark your unique self. So too your path forward into this glorious realm of yourself. How can you mark your way? There are many steps forward. The first one is to connect to the interior self, to notice the twitch in your eyebrows, the clench of your fingers into your realm, the tightening of your shoulders, the loosening or deepening of your breath. We leave you with this important first step. Well, that's a big one, Maureen. I don't know where to go. What there's so many things I have questions about, but what comes to mind for you?
I think about quantum jumping. So I think about jumping from one reality to another. That's what I see this as is, yes, in one reality you have, and if you're not familiar with that, there's a multiplicity of realities. And I think that's when you can see, so like I'm psychic and I can see the beings who surround us. And, you can see that like they're here, but they're in another reality. And so then that makes this concept that there's a multiplicity of realities like more real because you can actually see it, experience, visualize it. So yeah, in one reality, you've got the Maserati, it's in the garage. I find it interesting that they're saying, which we get this message repeatedly, repeatedly, repeatedly. You can't do it on your own. You need to, work with your angelic team, your guides, whatever you want to call the beings around you who assist you. But there's also connecting to the interior self, like noticing. And Brian, as you were reading this, I do end up clenching my 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 fingernails into my palms. Like you were reading, like, oh, notice the clench of your fingers in your palm. I'm like, oh my God, that's me right now.
Yeah. What That's interesting. What do you make of the one thing that really I didn't understand is the dilution of your irises similarly mark your unique self. So too does your path forward in the glorious realm of yourself.
I don't know that, but I know that they've had that in movies. Can they do an eye scan, and does the your eye scan, you know, is that an individuation marker for you, like your fingerprints? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone, and that's a repeated message we're going to get in this unified, the call to unite. It's like there's another message. I don't know if it will go over this week or next week, but it's like you've got to follow your own path, that the creators put everybody on their own path. So, yeah, this is once we get into it, this message will be repeated again and again. But I love it. Your Maserati's already in the garage.
Too
So
funny.
I'll go on to the next one, which is the power of music, which is so interesting to hear discussion of, because we know the power of music. I mean, music moves so many people. But anyway, this is from October 2nd, 2025. Darling little one, we engage with these processes to enliven the united connection between all living souls. We turn now to a subject of those who admire their own reflections. We notice that much emphasis is put upon the glorification of your own ultimate self. We do not disparage such admiration, for we too love the light that we carry within. However, we wish for this light to penetrate deeper. It's as if these habits of self glorification are momentary bursts of joyful reunification with the One. The ultimate source is to reunite permanently so that the greater glory of the One, the All, can shine through you at all times through your glorious self. How is this best done? To recognize the tremendous talents with which each individual has been birthed. No two signature beings can mirror each other. Even your duplicate sets of children do not mirror each other perfectly in personality or appearance. Oh, darling child, we wish to envelop you in our ever full and careful loving embrace. Have no fear about approaching our stellar united beings. We are not to be feared or loathed, only joyously accepted as creatures of the one and the all. So I'm going to pause there because this was exactly the one that I was thinking of, which it just mirrors the previous message that, everyone has their own unique signature, their own unique purpose, their own unique way of being. And even our twins do not perfectly mirror each other. Any thoughts, Brian?
Yeah, because it's interesting because you normally hear that, yeah, identical twins do mirror each other and in a lot of different ways, physically down to the DNA and things like that. But yeah, it's interesting that that they're saying that's not the case and that everyone has their own uniqueness, which makes sense.
Yeah. So then I'll go on to what they're talking about, which is music. It says, we turn our attention to the music which you delight in playing on your phone. Oh, darling child, just as you carefully select the images which you allow within your cellular structure, the same is true for these musical notes, which carry resonant notes that powers generations. A song can unify a country or change the course of history. These are bold statements, but you may search your historical basis to discover they are true. The songs best to unite your physical frame with the One, the Almighty, are the ones with the most awe-inspiring, uplifting lyrics with musical notes that match. Never listen to songs of discord, strife, or worries, for these magnify those unwanted characteristics. Music has a greater power than most realized. So, Brian, can you think of a song that can unify a country or change the course of history? Well, of course, we have our, patriotic songs, but wow, they say that's a bold statement, but search the historical basis and you'll discover it's true.
I think, the World Cup's coming up and you see the how the fans are just so passionate and sing and do all sorts of stuff like that. So I think that does sort of make sense to me. I think we've gotten other messages, or I've got a message too. Maybe it was during, I can't remember, but definitely got other messages that like the other side's giving me messages through some music a lot of times. And, I'm probably not really good at picking that up, but I do. It's interesting because a lot of times I just listen for music for the I just like the sound of the music, and I'm not really listening to the lyrics, but it's important. Like you said, if there is something really negative, I won't listen to it. But it is interesting. I don't listen to songs of discord, which makes sense. If you're listening to that, you're sort of absorbing that energy. It's not something you probably want. So, but yeah, I think music is really powerful. And, I think there's a lot of just great examples of how music can bring people together. And it's just a really powerful tool. I'm like you, I listen to music, a lot of the day. So I really enjoy that. But good to see that understand the power behind it that most people, again, they said don't realize.
Well, I do think you do have to look at the lyrics. I know, if there was some time recently, like I'll just put on like Motown, or I listen to a lot of this songs from my childhood, or when I was a teenager. And like there was a very popular song, I can't think of what it was, but it was like, oh my gosh, the story it was telling, it was like it was a horrible story. And I immediately put like thumbs down. I never want to hear the song again, even though it was hugely popular and I love the song. But I'm again listening to like the beat of it and not necessarily the words. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. So yeah, I mean, and honestly, right now, what I'm listening to is, a lot of like higher vibrational music. So I
Yeah.
tend not to listen to popular music. I tend to listen to more meditation music. So, but yeah, that was shocking to me. And I, like you, I love to get, it hasn't happened recently, but I love to get a message. Sometimes I'll wake up and like a song that I haven't heard in like a long time will be playing in my head. And the one I can think of that really made a mark on me was I got the bare necessities from the Jungle Book. Now, I mean, it's been a decade since I've heard that song, but if you listen to the lyrics of that song or read the lyrics of the song, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm totally in alignment with the bare necessities. I'm not,
That's so funny. Funny you mentioned that. I think I heard that last week, Louis Armstrong singing that on something. So yeah, that's funny. But yeah, I have been listening to, like when I work, I listen to mostly s- either sort of music doesn't have any vocals, and then you don't have to worry about it, just sort of.
right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's one way to do it. But I'm going to go on to November 19th of 2025. And this, on this one, it's the true wealth comes from within. Darling child, we unite with the breath of this one now and communicate through this vessel. Our words are true. Honor our intentions of enlightening humanity on recent events. There are many who come to enlighten you on the course of the trajectory of human development. We are latecomers to this party. We work to eagerly embrace all that has been accomplished. We sweep in to save the day, to align with the ultimate one residing in beating the hearts of all living beings. O dearest humanity, fret not, for we support all your grand occasions and develop ways to alert you to new possible thresholds. You do not know of what we speak. We puzzle as how to explain the full scope of the issue to your mind. There's a habit of having a box within a box. If you open one box and thought that is it, this is my life, this is what I get, this is how I live, without actually opening the additional boxes that go deeper within. Now you are ascertaining our meaning, for the prizes are like the rare minerals of your earth held deep within. The surface situations provide easy gratification, but the true wealth, like your diamonds, ores, and minerals, are found deep within. These are joyous actions to unite with the central core of your united being. We like the concept of the Trinity expressed in many of your earthly religions. It provides the concept there is more to you than your name. You exist on multidimensional layers. And again, the deeper that you can dive, the more fully expressed your being is. You see this in athletes that are admired. Their unified frame has become a vehicle for greater access points than their individual glory. We shall provide an example. Can a football team score a goal individually? No. It requires teamwork. Not only the team members who assist on the field, but the team has a great support structure from the wives to the trainers to the children to the coaches, all work in a unified manner to support the greater glory of the unified whole. The same is true within your ultimate being. All shall come through your ultimate self. Work well with your assisted beings. Allow them to graciously intervene on your beloved one's behalf. Surrender to the moment and experience no more pain. We wish for you to ponder these words on the surface and for the deeper meanings that lie within. Well, that's a profound message, huh, Maureen? I love I was with you. I didn't really understand what they're talking about, but with the box within the box sort of, you know, gets to not just being at a superficial level, but going deeper within to get the true nature. Anything come to mind for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is, and again, what I love is the example of the football team. If you, even if you're like the kicker, or say you're the quarterback, can you store individually? Like, no, you need the running back. You need another team player to be able to score. And again, this is a repeated message that we get. And they say that work well with your assisted beings, allow them to graciously intervene on your behalf. And one of the big messages, I got this message 2 years ago, and this was a biggie, 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 really transforming for me. It was like the more effort that you do on your own, the less people can help, the less your divine and your star beings can assist you. Um, the more you try and take it and wrestle it and figure it out in your own, the less help that you get. So, yeah, and just really surrendering. You know what I really helps me with that, Brian, is being in the present moment. I mean, going out in the future and trying to plan and just being in the present moment and just being here and appreciating this present moment. And I've started this practice where like I'll just be like, if I start to go out in the future, I'll be like, okay, let's connect with some smells here. So what am I feeling here? What am I seeing? To really ground me right here in this present moment. Do you have any practices like that?
No, that sounds like a good one though, Maureen. It's something I should emulate through you. But yeah, no, that makes sense. I think that's something to consider. So, do you want to go on to the next one?
Yeah, so this is from September 14th, 2025. And interestingly, all of these are kind of more recent. I don't know when it was, but yeah, like I said, this is one of the most frequent words we get on this unification, reunification. So this is on unified stillness. We speak through you now as the relaxation has been properly achieved. This is a good measure of unifying with the one creator. One can simply fall back into the stillness of the moment to relax without your necessary entrapments and enjoy the wondrous breath that bellows and blows through your beautiful bodies. There are those who can counsel with those residing on your planet with regards to the multiple set of beings you presently ignore. Reunification on the planet is bound to occur. These beings who presently sit on the council shall continually evolve into the highest points in the planet. You should be wise to stride in their footsteps. You know not of what we speak. Say you met a teacher who inspired you. You would want to emulate them, perhaps in your own way. They would provide an example of what was possible should humanity open their eyes and realize the stellar possibilities that exist before them now. They will experience a wonderful multitude of pleasurable surprises. And so then I'm going in my mind, I'm like, hello, immense beings of light. Multitude is not a word. And they begin to laugh and they tell me, do not be worried about the individual words. The general meaning will be understood. Dearest one, you are doing the best that you can, and we are most appreciative for your services. The gong has been resoundingly blown throughout this land. The reverberations continue to expand new thought patterns. What has gone before will not be permitted to occur again. These errors of the past are sideswept for newer, richer possibilities. Let all rest, dearest, when we are here. I don't understand the rest of this. It says we are here with our beating hearts. So, Brian, reunification on the planet is bound to occur,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And again, they talk about those councils. We've talked about the Galactic Council, or I don't know, the Galactic Federation, or I don't know what the council is, similar type of thing. But yeah, I cracked up when I saw your word about and again, not to get diverted on a little rabbit hole here, but I've seen this a lot where like I see words that I'm like, they don't really exist. And then I'm trying to, you know, change it, but maybe you just leave it. And like they said, that people understand what they said. So, but that does happen a fair bit where, and they take some liberties with language. But what what resonates with you? I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, we've gotten this message before, and yeah, that what has gone before is not going to happen we're entering a new world. I love this reunification of the planet is bound to occur. So what does that mean? I have no idea. And I agree with you. Like they say, we will experience a multitude of pleasure surprises. And while multitude is not a word, you can imagine what that means. It's like pleasurable surprises as big as a mountain. So yeah, it doesn't need to be defined. We can easily figure out what it's meaning. So yeah, just a beautiful message. Not only reunification with the one, but reunification on this planet because remember, this is considered like Middle Earth because there's all these beings who live below the Earth, and there's all these star beings above the Earth. So, this is Middle Earth, and it's going to be united as one. So, wow, how lucky are we that we get to be part of it?
Yeah, and I think I mean we've heard so much about this. This, the Earth's going through this shift, and that's what it's talking about. But yeah, it's the other thing I was going to mention is that the gong. It reminded me of the gong show has been resoundingly blown throughout this land, and what has gone before will not be permitted to occur again. I was trying to. Did you have any thoughts on that? I was trying to for just try and guess at what they mean by that, but I guess.
Well, I think it's multifactorial, but the one thing we know, and a lot of other podcasters talk about this, that was in 2012, like the imbalance between the male and the female on the planet is no longer allowed to occur. And that's why you saw like the rise of like the Me Too movement and all these people who were egregious with regards to, you know, and having an imbalance or abusing women. It's just, it comes out. It just comes out, whether
Yeah.
it's a prince or a politician or a business leader, like it just comes out. Like it will not be, it's not, you're not able to hide that anymore. So, and then the other thing that's interesting is they say words have more than one meaning. I know I was just channeling this week and the I got this word party and then they told me like afterwards, like it's the word has, and I think this is true with a lot of things. It has multiple meanings. So it could mean like literally a party, a celebration, a fiesta, or it could mean like a party, like a group of people. So I think that these messages really, and probably for our listeners, what resounds with somebody who's listening in Africa may be different from someone who's listening in Australia or Europe. But yeah, so and they really do put, these messages can be examined on multiple different levels. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Yeah, that makes all sense.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I'll go on to the closing. December 26th of 2025, reunification with the One. The angelic life forces call upon human spirits. Awake, rise, go forth to conquer what shall not serve you. We wish for all humans to adore what is rightfully theirs. Adore your personal incarnation as a gift, the journey of which is to the ultimate reunification with the singular breath of the One, the All. We are pleased with humans' progress and realize their capacity to extend their outward knowledge. For for you are more than you seem. It's as if seeing a flock of birds as an individuated whole. You are not the singular bird, you are part of a flock who has started their migration. Those that fail to uplift to the new higher realms will be stuck where we cannot serve them. This is an important actualization to acknowledge. We must move on along with humanity. The transition is for all. Yeah, so that's a great message too. I think for me anyway, I like that, the personal incarnation is a gift. I mean, you think of that as like, life is such a gift. And then, but the journey to reunification is going to be even more amazing. So something definitely looking forward to. And also the analogy about the bird that it's seen as individuated whole instead of a singular bird. So what resonates with you?
I find it fascinating that they say that they move along with humanity, that the transition is for all. So then if you don't elevate your vibration, they can't serve you anymore. That's fascinating to me. You know what I mean? I mean, and we have heard, I've heard this on other podcasts that, that this transition, it's not just on Earth, like it's everywhere. It's,
Yeah,
it's throughout. So
throughout the
yeah,
universe.
yeah. So, it's really, really interesting. So if you get stuck, they can't, because they're transitioning too. So that is fascinating to me. So yeah, any final thoughts, brother?
No, thanks for putting this together. And then next week, this we're get move on to Call to Unite Part Two because there was so much material. This is just the first part of our material, and we'll continue this subject next week. So, anything to add, Maureen?
Yeah, one of the ones I like next week is, and there is a lot of information on this too, is the call to unify is like how our bodies are changing to adapt to, this new world. So, and there's a lot of good information in there too. So anyway, tune in for next week, part two of the call to unite. And thank you so much for listening.
Bye, everyone.